welcome to our channel. Today we all travel around either for business, leisure, or educational purposes. Visit to historical sites, museums, and landmarks, experiencing new cultures and exploring various attractions can enrich us and broaden our understanding of the world. One such enthusiastic experience for us was when we made our first trip to the European region. Actually, when this trip came to our mind, the first thing we did was to confirm the countries and the locations we had a dream to travel. And that was exactly when the Eiffel Tower in Paris, the cable cars in Switzerland, and the age old cathedrals and Colosseum in Italy came to our mind. With all the important documents and our packed luggage, we set out from home. Our flight was scheduled at 4:30 a.m. from the Muscat International Airport, so we left for the airport 3 hours prior to the departure. For those of you who don't know us, we are couples from India residing in the Sultanate of Oman. Now, if you're interested to know more about our travels, do stay connected with us and continue watching. And so, in the upcoming series of vlogs, you can follow with us virtually and get to know more about our trip and experiences. Though the early morning flights are hard to manage, yet the excitement was so high when we reached the airport. The Muscat airport was not at all in a sleep mood, and there were a lot of passengers moving in and out. The Muscat International Airport, also known as Seat International Airport, is a main international airport in Oman. This new terminal was opened in the year 2018 and serves a lot of facilities and has services to Asia, Africa, and Europe. We sent off the taxi and then was in search for the counter for the baggage check-in. The counters for the baggage check-in was open and there was a queue of few passengers. Since we had a lot of time, we slowly walked towards the queue and waited patiently for our turn. Ours was a connecting flight from Muscat to Paris with a layover at Istanbul in Turkey. We had done the bookings for the Pegasus Airlines. Finishing the baggage check-ins, immigration, and the other security check-ins, we walked towards the assigned gate for boarding. As we had reached early, we had a lot of time after the ground level protocols. So we lazily walked along the duty-free area of the Muscat International Airport. From the initial planning of trip to the start of journey, we almost had about 3 months, during which we did a lot of research and learned about the process and procedures and of course the expenses required for this travel. It is always good to plan ahead and make the bookings to make it budget friendly and also get the connecting flight without much trouble. Walking in the airport, we found a seat and thought to relax till the boarding is announced. The local time was just 2:30 a.m. and a flight was scheduled for 4:30 a.m. Drowsily sitting and gazing at the schedule for 1 hour felt like a lot of time. Soon the boarding was announced and we walked towards the gate. This time we did the flight bookings and hotel bookings by ourselves. After comparing the tarif as well as the connections involved depending on the days of our Schengen visa. In case if you would like to know the bookings we did and the websites we chose, you can let us know in the comment section, as this video might become too long if I get to the details here. And almost 1 month before the actual trip, we started making the arrangements and collecting the documents for making this travel hassle free. Since we were planning to spend most of the time in Paris, we applied for the visa through the VFS from the French embassy. And within a few days of time, we got our passport stamped with a Schengen visa with a validity of 19 days. Now, here is a list of documents which are a must for travelers visiting the Schengen region. And in case if you're interested to know more about the travel documents and the documentations which were involved for this European trip, then please do let us know in the comment section. We would love to share our experiences on this. It was quite nice to see a flight getting ready to board the passengers. So, without delay, the boarding began, and we boarded the flight from Muscat International Airport, Oman, to Sabiha Gökçen International Airport, Istanbul. We checked in our seats, and very soon the safety announcements were made, and the flight took off. As always, night view of Muscat, Oman was amazing to watch from the skies. Watching the skies and the night lights, we soon dozed off. Waking up in the morning, we found ourselves flying in the skies of Istanbul in Turkey. It was a flight of 5 hours from Muscat to the layover at Istanbul. That was a splendid view to watch the city of Istanbul from above. And it was a blessing to wake up to land to a new place. It was after a flight of 5 hours we reached the layover at Istanbul. The flight soon landed at Sabiha Gökçen International Airport at Istanbul at 8:30 a.m. in the local time. Happily setting foot in the soil of Istanbul, we walked to the airport. The Istanbul airport was really huge. It is located in the Asian side of Istanbul. The Sabiha airport is quite a large airport, so there was a lot to walk. But it was a lovely time walking amongst people of different cultures. This airport was opened in the year 1955 and has been growing ever since. Then soon we checked the schedule for boarding of the next flight. Our connecting flight from Istanbul to Paris was scheduled for departure at 10:30 a.m. of the local time. Since we had some time, we got freshened and bought some food and simply walked around the busy and the lively Istanbul airport. This airport is actually a connecting bridge between the European countries and the Eastern countries, and so we could find a lot of people from different parts of the world. This airport seemed more like a shopping mall with lots of modern brands and food counters. Everyone seemed to be busy and mostly awaiting their next flights at different times to different parts of the world. The time passed by very soon, and we got the call for the boarding of our flight from Istanbul to Paris. After the stamping of the boarding pass, we got in the bus Riding in the bus in the midst of many aeroplanes and watching takeoff so close by was also thrilling. And then here's a flight that was to take us to Paris. It was the Airbus A321 of the Pegasus Airlines. And it was also exciting to step in the soil of Turkey on our way to the flight. We boarded the flight and was excited to fly to Paris. The flight took off in the right time at 10:30 a.m. from Sabiha Gökçen International Airport. In 2010, this airport was voted as the world's best airport at the World Low Cost Airlines Congress in London. It is also said to be one of the busiest single runway airport in the world. It ranks as the second busiest airport in Turkey and is the ninth busiest airport in Europe. As the name, this airport is named after Sabiha Gökçen, after a Turkish aviator who became the first female pilot in history. Being one of the large airports and the busy hours, there were a lot of takeoffs and landings to witness, as this was one such view of a flight approaching for landing, and we were just watching it sitting in another Pegasus Airlines.
We would like to welcome you on board our Boeing 737-800, named after sevdiğim flight number PC-871, to Istanbul Sabiha Gökçen Airport. Our flight time will be 4 hours 15 minutes. My name is Onur Koçer and I'm the senior cabin crew on this flight. Me and my crew wish you a pleasant flight.
This time I was at the window side seat, and so I could beautifully capture the takeoff of the flight. And the flight took off with an amazing view of the city of Istanbul below us. So here's a good view of Istanbul from above. The travel time from Istanbul to Paris was 3 hours 40 minutes. So we had a small brunch and took to rest, enjoying the view of clouds and the sky. Soon we dozed off, watching the skies and dreaming of our destination. Yes, I know, you might get bored if I still go on. So let's take a break and see you in our next video. I hope you enjoyed being with us, as I loved telling you the story. If you liked watching this video, then do subscribe to our channel and stay connected with us. So do take care and don't forget to join with us in the next video when we land in Paris.